How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Conversations Over Chess podcast. And today I'm sitting down with just a special person. This individual is new to my life, but a coworker of mine. She is a unique individual, coming here to have a great conversations over chess. And the good part of this is that she's an individual who does not know how to play chess. So it's going to be even better dialogue without any of us having to make any moves and work on any strategy behind that. And without further ado, please welcome Miss Amber to Conversations Over Chess. Welcome to Conversations Over Chess podcast. As you know, the premise of the podcast is that every loss is a lesson. So can you speak to any lesson that you have learned through losses in your life and elaborate on that?
Any losses?
Anything good, bad? You got a chance and lost out on a cruise that ended up going down. I would expect that to be a good loss. So anything that you can think of?
Okay, so this is random.
All right.
But so on the news, like, for all who watches the news and everything, there was an explosion right next to a daycare.
Okay.
Funny thing, I had interviewed there for a job.
All right.
And I guess look how the odds turned out, because it was a loss. I did want to work there.
Yeah.
Even with that certain location it was at, but I didn't have to go through that, I guess, that devastating incident they just went through.
Definitely.
Luckily, everybody was safe and everything, but...
Did they say what caused the explosion?
I didn't look that far into it, no. Oh, a gas leak. A gas leak.
And all the kids and everybody was safe.
Oh, yeah, the kids were fine. It wasn't at the daycare. It was literally next door.
Next door to the daycare. Okay, I was going to say, wow. And this is in actually D.C., or was it in the surrounding areas?
D.C. It was D.C.
It was D.C. Okay, well, by the grace of God, thank God everybody was okay with that.
Right.
All right. Okay. So why would you want to work at that daycare? Anything specific surrounding that, or?
I mean, it wasn't too far from where I live.
Okay.
Not too far from my daughter's school. So, yeah.
It was just unique. Everything was right there for you.
Pretty much. And it was a small school at that too. Small little daycare. So I like that, more personal, not too many people.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. You dodged a bullet there. That's always good. Thank God you're still here. What other lessons? What other lessons? If you could teach, well, let me ask you this. What is the greatest life lesson that somebody has taught you? Greatest advice that was given to you?
Greatest advice, or
greatest advice.
A great lesson that someone taught me? Which one?
Both, actually.
Well, you just tell me where to go. I don't know. You really can't, like, how do I word this? I guess you really can't take everyone's word. Like, it sucks, but like, some people really can't put on a front and pretend that they're one way and they're really not. Like, some people say, like, oh, after like 3 months, somebody's gonna show who they really are.
Yeah.
I had somebody pretending to be who they wasn't for 3 years. I've had, or even not even just that. I think, being best friends or close friends with someone, you think they're one way, and then, for whatever reason, y'all get closer, and then you find out that they have other sides to them. Like, you really don't really know someone.
Yeah.
No matter how, like, well you think you know them, like, there's always gonna be like a hidden door, and it's kind of scary.
How has that shaped you in your relationships now today, whether it be at work, whether it be with friends, whether that be with a relationship spouse? Because it seems like from your experiences, somebody hasn't always been who they are, and that's a crazy and scary thing in today's world, right? Because you need somebody that you can trust. You need to have a confidant, right? You want to have a significant other. So how has that experience shaped who you are now and how you maneuver with individuals today?
You would think it would have probably made me more of like a bitter person, or like angry, wanting to be shut off, but it's actually done quite the opposite. I don't know, it made me, like, I feel like, become a stronger person.
Okay.
That, some people are exactly who they show you the first time. And I try not to believe that. I believe that, we all go through stuff.
Yeah.
And not everybody, changes and molds the same as everyone else. Some people it takes longer to learn a lesson. And I try to be that understanding person to, like, help that person get past those barriers and
Definitely.
Believe that they can change. And sometimes I guess people take advantage of that understanding side of me.
Okay.
And that loving side of me. So for instance, my last situationship, I won't really call it a
Okay.
relationship, but
Entanglement. It's okay. Whichever word we want to use.
but yeah, he showed me like that he was just like all caring guy and there for me and my child and everything. And then as time went on,
Yeah.
I started seeing a different side of him. And I've seen it probably one time, but not towards me, towards another individual. But it wasn't like relationship wise. It was
Yeah.
like, some other drama. I'm just like, oh, that's different. But that same energy was shown towards me, and I should have took heed
The
right then and
first time.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I would have avoided so much, drama. However, I've just learned so much from it because it just shows how sneaky and conniving people really can be,
Yeah.
and that some people will lie for their own evil agendas. Like, and I still don't know what that agenda really is, but I thought it was
Yeah.
something. I thought, it was pure love between us, and even though I call it situationship, though we were dealing with each other for, like I said, for 3 years, we were very
Yeah.
close. So
Very,
I
very
thought,
serious at that point.
yeah, so I thought he wanted a relationship, and I kept denying him because I was afraid. I was dealing with my own traumas and stuff, so I felt safer by us not being in I guess a
A
committed
committed, yeah.
relationship.
Because
And
once
I'm
you
just
cross the
like,
committed boundary, then it's on a different level. So I understand
exactly,
that.
but I was fine with it, like being committed to him
Mm-hmm.
without the title.
Okay.
So I always like reassured him, like, you don't have to worry about nobody else. As long as you're loyal and respectful to me, I won't, step out with
Yeah. There's
nobody
no reason for me
else.
to look anywhere else because I'm happy.
Exactly. And I'm like, even if I do find interest in someone else, since we don't have a title, I would tell you. I won't just lead you astray. Like, I will let you know.
Yeah.
And the only way I'll do that is if I'm not happy, but I will let you know that. And that's exactly what happened. I would tell him we want to be talking for some time, and it just blew into a whole thing. So it made me lose faith in him and his word. But I also learned like you can't hold how someone is against other people,
Sure.
because it can also put up a barrier. So I had to take him for what he was and not hold him accountable for the things that happened to me in my previous relationship.
Okay.
And he would say like, I'm not, so and so, and I'm like, that's not it. You're causing your own havoc
Yeah.
in our, relationship. Like, it has nothing to do with that. This is you.
Yeah.
It's all you. So it also taught me that sometimes people can try to like basically turn the blame game around on you.
True.
And I had to learn, like, I had to stop blaming myself. it
Flip the
it
script.
was him. He made me angry. Like, I felt that evil presence, and it made me into something I didn't like. But as soon as I got rid of
That
that
individual.
person,
Yeah.
I didn't feel that energy anymore. I didn't feel like that heavy burden. I stopped having as many like anxiety attacks. Like, I would have like random panic and anxiety attacks every
So
time he
it's
was around.
to your health at that point,
Oh my
detrimental to
God,
your
yes, it
health,
was
everything.
bad. Like, and I always thought like when he was around, I thought it made it better. But I'm like, how can I think that? Because when he came around, it was always something. It was always something. Though he has helped me, and I'm very grateful for that. Like, I'll
Yeah.
never take that away from him. Like, he has helped me through a lot of different situations, and he's made some other situations worse. But still to this day, I know that he was battling his own demons, even if they wasn't that serious or not serious. He still was battling his own mess. I
Yeah.
don't know what he's going through now, but it's not, it's not none of my business. I don't have no ill will, though. For those who know,
Yeah.
they're probably like, nah,
He
sis, you
said,
need to
"Girl, we know
be.
what you're talking about."
He deserves. I was like, no, I'm not gonna wish no bad karma. I really
Yeah.
hope that he's doing better. I thought about reaching out a few times. I'm just like, no, like, I don't feel as though I should, because like I've been really happy. Clearly I must have not, made him happy enough,
Yeah.
because he was clearly insecure with trusting in my word.
He had his own things that he was going on with that when he displayed it, it seems like from just listening, it's just like the not just the outrage. I feel like that's a bad word. I feel like just the expression of what he was doing, it just didn't seem like it was just the right thing. He could have expressed or he could have articulated, hey, I'm going through X, Y, and Z instead of acting out. In other
Honestly,
words.
I just feel like maybe he just wasn't really like, he claims it's because I would not commit to him, but it's like, I
Hmm.
am committed. We just don't have a
Well, why
title.
didn't you want to commit?
He's given me reason not to trust him. He lied about something I asked him numerous times, and
Was it and that's one thing that was going to be a follow-up question. So when we're at the stage of where we're not putting titles on it, but hey, it's you and I, but we're not going to be committed, but we are committed, is it during that stage that he lost your trust, or was it we were actually committed into something?
we was committed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, you know, I am strong with like my intuition, my
Okay.
gut, my gut
Like
instinct.
most women.
And I kept feeling something was off. So I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, is there anything you want to tell me? Are you talking to somebody else? Like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it's no need to lie because we don't have a title. But
Yeah,
what we have is special. We said we were committed to each other. And if we were to get interested in somebody else, we would say that.
definitely.
So I just kept feeling in my gut. And I'm like, since he won't tell me, I want to know if he's going to be in my home with me around my child. I need to know. So one day he fell asleep with his phone in his hand. It was unlocked.
Yeah,
And I took it out of his hand and I went through it. Little behold, endless, endless, endless of crap.
yeah,
And of course he had excuses of, oh no, it was for, money. It was for this and that. I'm like, that don't sound no better. Like, you still could have spoke to me about this. Like,
definitely.
I'm open to you about everything that I've been doing. And the only time I didn't is when I felt like it was going to be like a really bad altercation.
Yeah,
So, and then I would literally say, like, I'm gonna wait till you calm down, then we can talk about it. Like, I told him I'm not holding nothing from you. If I'm afraid of how
yeah,
something may turn out, I'm gonna wait until it seems like you're calm. And that's how it always went. Like, and I would tell him, I can show you the proof. I'm not lying about nothing. It's just
yeah,
at the time you were extremely upset. And me and him both know, and for those who know how it can go.
yeah.
So
And
that
those
was
who
a
don't know, as far as it can go, meaning he will put hands on you, and you say altercations, just to put clarity around that.
oh no, more like damaging my property,
Okay.
taking stuff, breaking my phone,
Okay.
calling people and
So
damaging my property,
understood.
threatening friends, all types of crazy stuff. So yeah.
Understood.
Um So yeah, so that was one of the times it really broke my trust because like he, was swearing on his man. I hate when people swear on a lot. First of all, let alone like a lot of people, but dead people too. Like what?
Yeah.
Where's your cut cards?
Where's your moral compass if you're swearing on
Exactly.
somebody who's died and not here no longer? I understand that
That's
for sure.
crazy. So the fact that happened, you still lie. Like now I know I can't trust nothing. You're not a man of your word. I can't trust nothing you say because
Yeah.
that's so messed up. Like, what? They're not even here no more to defend themselves. You're like lying. Anyway, so then there's that. Then it came to him, like I said, destroying my stuff. So I'm just like, well, I don't want to be with somebody crazy.
Sure.
So then, we went time with not dealing with each other, and that would be the times where I would like start to talk to other people, getting to know somebody else, not doing nothing physical,
Yeah.
nothing. He find out
But that
about
goes
it.
back to again me playing devil's advocate and from the man's perspective, and I obviously want to hear from the woman's perspective, is that if we say that we're not committed, then in all reality, saying that we're committed and actually being committed is two different things.
Yeah,
So I can say that we're committed, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be stepping out. But to say, oh yeah, it's just you and I feel like that leaves room for individuals to do what they want to do, whether it's right or wrong. So that's why I often
I
question
get
the,
it.
the stage and age that we're in now, where it's just like, oh, we know what it is, but no, do we really? Like back in the days, just we just arranged marriage, you married now. But as things evolved, and it's just like you can choose, you can swipe right, you can do whatever. I feel like it should be a definitive thing to say if you and I are speaking, we're in a committed. I'm your boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, and we're not talking to anybody else. So if those
Yeah,
conversations were had, then I can understand where it's just like, bro, what's going on in this phone? Because we already said you're not stepping out on nobody. I'm only talking to you, and that's the boundary. But from what I'm hearing, it
facts.
might not have
Oh
had
no,
that
we've
specific
had
conversation.
those
You
talks
did,
numerous
okay,
times. We already said like no sleep with nobody. People crazy, simply crazy. I first of all,
yeah,
I'm not the type to be rolling all around like whoever I'm dealing with. Like I was committed to this dude for 3 years. 3 years just dealing with him,
yeah,
no title or nothing. I was not involved physically or nothing like that with no other man, just him. I would text other people and I'll let him know like, hey, this is my friend, or well, me and him wasn't even dealing with each other.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, while we wasn't talking to each other for like 2 months, I did start to get to know somebody else. That's it. And he'll be like, oh no, you probably was sleeping with them. What? First of all, I don't get down like that. Never
yeah,
have and never will. That's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, sounds like you're deflecting. So that must have been what he was doing. And come to find out, I believe that's what he was doing because when it finally came to an end, um, things that he don't even know that I know, but
Yeah.
he was stepping out. He was doing him. He even called my phone by accident, going smack at somebody after he just got off the phone with me.
Hold on,
Um,
smacking somebody. He
going
was having.
smack. He left a whole voicemail. I still have it on my
So
phone.
hold on, he was talking smack about you.
No, going smack, like trying to holler at them.
Oh, okay,
He
okay.
was trying to holler at somebody, and little did he know, he called me by accident. I guess butt dialed me, and
Yeah.
the whole voicemail was on my phone. I think he
How
just
do
got off
we
the
butt
phone with
dial in
me.
2020? Anything above 2020?
You
How do we
hear
butt
me?
dial?
And
I feel like
after
this is
he
intentional at
just
this
got off the
point.
phone with me saying like how much he wanted to be with me, like we was about to get a place together, everything. Like he wanted to like get serious with me, I started a family, all of that.
Yeah.
And literally, I kid you not, I have it on my phone. 5 minutes afterwards, he butt dialed me. He was like, "Hey, you single? What's your name? You pretty? All
Oh
this." And I
shoot.
was like, "Oh yeah." I texted. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm done. Like we're good." Like I said, I knew it. He was like, "No, like you didn't even get to hear. Like I didn't get her number. She didn't give it to me." First of all, it was a long pause. You can hear the phone shuffling. Like,
Yeah.
why are you lying? So he couldn't even be a man and tell me like, okay, this and that. He blew up on me one day when I pulled up on him trying to surprise him
Yeah.
and take him to go get, a slushie because he was, I don't know, craving slushies at the time. So I was thinking like, dang, do he have somebody pregnant? But anyway, so I tried to surprise him. He was like in a whole frenzy, like, what do you want? Why are you here? Never act like that before. So I'm like, he dealing with somebody else. Anytime when a guy acts like that, when you pull up, when that's something you've always done,
Yeah.
it's somebody
Yeah.
else
No, for
involved.
sure. For sure.
Then I
For
seen
sure.
his phone, saw that a female texted him. I'm like, oh, so you are cheating on me, and this is when we was like official. Gave him that chance to be his girl,
Yeah.
and he was like, what? No, this is somebody I was talking to a couple of months ago, but you told me you haven't been talking to nobody. Haven't you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like
I
it's a
see.
cycle. This is why I can never commit. It was always him. No, it was this. No, it was that. But yet I've always been honest about
Did
everything I was
you
doing.
did you think that you, because he seems like he broke your trust, or you had questioned his trust outside of actually the real commitment? Did you think that you actually liked him just that much that you gave him the chance to where you guys became boyfriend and girlfriend? Because you had just mentioned where it's just like, yo, it was a little questionable things that he was doing before we actually got official, but we did become official. So I think the question
So
is, why get to that point if you already knew it was just his moral compass is a little shaky.
I felt like I never really gave him 110% chance. It's like, okay, so the first year when we started talking, after a little while, we did make it official for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up breaking up with him. Wasn't talking to him for like, excuse me, for about maybe 3 months. Started talking. I reached out. It was the death date of his cousin or whatever.
Yeah.
So we got to being friends again, cooling for some months. Everything was cool. He asked me out again. I was like, I guess. Dated him for another month.
Okay.
Ended up breaking up with him again. Wasn't talking to him. He reached out. I was like, nah, I'm not on that type of time. I don't want to be. Like, you already showed me, like, I'm
Yeah.
good. So, we were friends and he started like pushing up on me more and more and more and being around me more and more. Eventually, like, I started gaining feelings again.
Understood.
So eventually it was just like me having feelings but not want to be with him. Like, nah, I don't want to. Like, I don't want no title. I gotta protect myself. Because if I don't have a title with somebody, even if you do step out, I don't care. Not
Yeah.
as much because you're not my man. So it
Understood.
doesn't matter. But if we're together and you do that, it's gonna hurt me way more. So I was protecting myself. But then I thought, dang, he right. I can't. I'm not committed to him. I'm not giving him stability. How can I say I want to be with him? So I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I was like, let's do this for real. Let me give it my
A
all. I
thousand
said one more
percent to
time.
just one
Yep. I said
individual.
it's one
Yeah.
more time. So it seemed like he was cool, but it was weird. Like it was just weird. I'm telling you, it was weird. But then eventually, I'm just like, I had enough. Like it was just enough. I just had enough. I don't even know. We ended it really bad. Like I said, that whole little incident where me seeing the girl texting his phone and the
Yeah.
whole me pulling up on him and all that stuff happened. That one week, him calling that, I mean, on smack at that girl, all that happened within the same week. I was like, oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good. Like she ended on his birthday. He was doing him on his birthday. And it was
Yeah.
literally 2 days after we had like I accused him of cheating on me. Didn't say nothing to me about it. Hasn't apologized about it. And mind you, another thing that he tried to like throw in my face is that I was messing with one of his old friends.
Yeah.
Wasn't the case. His friend did want to talk to me. I was like, nah, that's weird. That's your man's.
Facts.
And but I was stringing him along. He kept asking me, how guys do, like, but I'm trying to hit. I was like, all right, show me your papers. Dang and well, dudes ain't finna go through all of that.
Yeah.
The ones who ain't shit. Ain't about to go through all of that.
See, I ain't marrying you for that. Yeah.
So
It's very true.
So I'm saying.
Not in today's
So
world.
I just threw that in there. But for real, like even his friend knew like I like hanging out with him because for one, he was fun. He ain't mind spending money. So you know what I'm saying? He ain't mind driving his car, using his gas. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like maybe he knew it. So his friend even told him like, nah, bro. He was like, nah, she a good girl, bro. Like he said, I'm not even gonna lie, I did try my hand. I messed up for that, but she for you. And he tried to, have something to throw in my face, like, oh no, you trifling, you trifling. I'm like, you're only saying that because you know you're guilty and you trying to throw it in
Yeah.
my face. So that's how it
The
ended.
deflection.
Exactly. He never reached back out. But I mean, like I said, he crazy. So I be peeping certain
Seems like you
things.
dodged a bullet with that one. Is all I'm hearing.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a loss. Like I said, my love for him was real.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I feel as though we should have just kept it as friends. Because like I felt as though as a friend, he was cool, but all that extra stuff, he couldn't handle it.
And how long was it was 3 years you had said, correct?
Yeah, so I think altogether it might have been 4
Altogether
years.
4 years.
Yeah.
One question that I want to know, I wish I can ask this question to every woman in the world, because I've had my fair share of making mistakes, like some of the things that this gentleman has done. So why do you think, specifically for you, but why do you think in general women stay, right? What is it for you in your life that was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna stick this through, I'm gonna have somebody's back, even when I know they might be not be doing right? And for myself, it's like, let's just say somebody was doing me wrong. I know I might stay because for whatever odd reason, it's just like, hey, I might like them just that much, or hey, I might see potential. So what was it for you that you was just like, and not even just specifically that relationship, but just in friendships or just in life in general, it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna see it through until enough is enough, right?
So he was there for so here's the kicker. Like he was my daughter's godfather.
Okay.
So that's the big part right there. So that's how the
And
foundation
how
was
old is
already
the little
set.
one?
How old is she now?
Yeah,
She's 5.
5. Look at that.
Yeah. So he was there for quite some time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And he was there. He was like always treating me good, always treating her good, doing things he didn't have to do, doing things I didn't ask him to do. And being a friend that which I needed. I was going through a hard time. It was COVID and
Yeah.
everything. And after COVID, everybody was affected in different ways. I was definitely affected, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah.
financially. But luckily, I still had a lot of money saved up, so I wasn't hit too bad in that area.
Okay.
But he was looking out where I did not have the help because her father isn't involved.
Yeah.
So he was like helping out. He didn't have to do that, really stepping up. I feel as though in the Godfather role, or
Yeah.
maybe some might even say going a little beyond, but I don't think so because it wasn't like an everyday thing. But then it started to turn to that. And I guess that's how
Godfather meaning that you appointed him or your baby dad appointed him?
See, now you're asking the juicy questions.
Yeah. Because let's really get into it. How is he this close in proximity? Who knows who
Okay,
here?
so yeah, you asked the big question. So the what I would like to call the sperm donor appointed him, and so yeah, that's how it started. And before anybody gets to judging, no, there was no sneaky stuff going on or nothing. I did meet him through my sperm donor.
Okay.
He was a distant friend at the time. He was just coming over like all the time, staying the night and stuff, and I didn't mind. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what his situation was.
This is when you were obviously with
Oh no! First of all, no. Me and sperm donor, I've been broke that off when she was before she. I think she even turned 1 years old.
Okay.
Or no, a little bit after she. Yeah, either a little bit before or after she turned 1. I think it was before she turned 1. So yeah,
Okay.
we was already broken up with. Like
Yeah, it was
so
done.
when I started being around that godfather,
Yeah.
me and him was already broken up for over a year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, me and him was already broken up for over a year when that godfather started coming around, and he
Makes
started
sense.
staying at my place, here and there, and that's when I allowed my sperm donor to start staying with me again because like that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
So that's
but
another podcast episode.
Oh, I'm telling you. So yeah, so he was there. He was stepping up in places where you would think my sperm donor was, and the picture that my sperm donor tried to paint of me was that I was not allowing him to be involved. But when somebody who's actually in close proximity seen that, oh, I gave him more than just that to do so, but
Yeah,
he was choosing not to because I didn't want to, be involved with him.
definitely.
That's when, the Godfather stepped up and he started, doing stuff. He just like, bro, what's up? Like, why aren't you doing this stuff? He was like, no, because, whatever he was saying.
Yeah, for whatever
And
reasons or excuses he
exactly.
had.
So eventually I just got tired of it. Like, you're staying at my place. Um, you're not buying, taking care of our daughter. You're not watching her no more.
Yeah,
You're not buying her anything. You're eating up all my food. What are you here for? Like, so I put him out. I kicked him out and I told, I'm her godfather. Like, I'm not gonna do that to you just because he's not here no more. I'm not gonna, put you out. Like,
yeah,
that's messed up. So, it was fine. It worked. So for months, he was living there. He was still, clean up after himself because me and him was cleaning up after a sperm donor and
yeah.
like no. And so finally one day after some months went past and we neither one of us heard from sperm donor for months. Like he went MIA. Like I tried to message him everything,
Damn.
would not respond. And that's another kick. I'm gonna tell you about that too. So he started like he said, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I thought you was a petty person from what he told me, but that was kind of, messed up and selfish because I never saw or knew your side of the story. He
Yeah,
said you ain't nothing from what he said. He said it was all on him. Like I'm like, dang, that's messed up. He going around talking crap about me, all the stuff that I, did for him. Like, it pissed me off. I'm like, what? Like, he saw that I was giving that man money. I wasn't like hounding him. I'm just like, because, a person can do what they want to do regardless.
exactly.
So, anyways, he, stepped up. We was doing fine. He was still clean about himself, being respectful of my home. And if it really came down to it, he would watch my daughter for me, like if I ain't had nobody else to watch her because, the sperm donor wasn't around.
Yeah,
So at some time, like we ended up falling for each other and it felt real. Like I was like, dang, this might be my person. Who would
yeah,
have thought? Like, and mind you, at the time, clearly they wasn't so let me tell you about the not being friends part no more. So that happened months after the fact.
yeah.
So up until a year, like I think that's when we actually started dealing with each other. So
Okay.
what happened between them was sperm donor when he finally came back around after 3 months, around the time he got somebody else pregnant while he was gone on three
Oh,
months exactly. Somebody was
so he went into
pregnant.
hiding because he knew what was happening.
But before that, he tried to get me back by buying me a week ticket to the Poconos for my birthday. This is when his other baby mamas was 2 months pregnant. And I was like, no. I'm like, so you can't even get the stuff that our daughter needs, but you can buy me. I was like, heck no. I said, refund and give me the money back. He was like, no. So you're always trying to do stuff for her. I'm trying to do stuff for you. Like, are you insane?
Yeah, you
Are
got a
you
daughter.
crazy? And I have the text message. I got the receipts, honey, because this was
So
all
we might need to throw
texted.
that up in a little podcast
I'm
episode.
telling you, like, I got the receipts,
So we
honey.
might need to actually show that.
But I got it. But so yeah, so anyways, he was like, oh, so you're messing around with my friend. So before he had said all of that, he had put out a little fake threat hit on his best friend. Once you do something like that,
Yeah,
they're not, what? They're
you
not
can't
gonna
go
deal with
back
you no
from
more.
that. When you
Exactly.
bring the weapons involved, it's a different level.
So that happened. So he was like, oh yeah, I'm done with him. I'm not banging with him. I'm like, oh, like it didn't make no sense. So then he started going around like telling everybody like, oh yeah, she trifling. She put me out. She not trying to let me see my daughter. This telling everybody. So people just coming to me like, why you do this? I'm like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to say about him. I say if y'all want to believe him,
Yeah,
believe him without even trying to ask me. And everybody who was coming at me, they knew what type of person he was, and they were the same people who try to warn me about him. So I'm just like, so are all of you crazy? So anyway, so that's what happened, how me and the Godfather got, so close and cool because he stepped up. He was a real man, taking care of a child that was not his, and he did that for 3 years. Um, he did a lot. And so that's honestly what made me kept coming back. Like, mind you, when COVID happened, my daughter and I both caught COVID. However, I was
sheesh.
affected way worse than she was. She got better in 3 days.
Yeah,
And it didn't even hit her bad. She was still playing just fine.
she said I
Me,
got it.
however, I was down for about I didn't fully recover from COVID until like 2 years for real. But I
Dang.
was really down bad for like 6 months to a year. But for them 6 months, like when he saw like that month that I was down bad, that's when he decided to like move back in because he had left and he had came back.
Yeah,
And because I had nobody, to take care of me and to help with her. So he stepped up. I didn't ask him. He did it. and he took care of me for them 6 months, like paying my bills, putting food in the fridge, buying the stuff that she needed, buying the stuff for the house. Mind you, not my man. So for 6 months, he held it down for me. Didn't I have to do that?
Yeah.
And
No,
then
for
so like
sure.
I really felt for him. We, like I said, I respect him for that. Even when we fell off, he popped up, had stuff for my daughter. He bought some stuff for the house, and we was not banging with each other. He was like, "Yeah, I got some stuff for her. Like this
Yeah.
is for her." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, like what the heck?" Like trying to rub it in my face, like, "Yeah, I got it for her, nothing for you." I'm like, "Okay." Like she a part of me, so I'm so grateful. So I think that's what kept bringing me back, because like I saw the good in him, like that part right there. But then some people was like, "Nah, he was pulling on your heart
Yeah. Yeah.
because he was using your child against you." And I'm just like, dang, I'm not even gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at it that he really had, good intentions for my child. But then when I look back at it now, it's like it's been 3 months. He hasn't reached out,
Yeah.
you know. But part of that, because I think he knows that I probably wouldn't let him, because, like I said, of all the crazy stuff that he has pulled,
Yeah.
and the last thing he did, it's just,
So does she have a relationship with her father at all? No. Does
no,
she
she
know who
doesn't.
he is or no?
No, she doesn't.
Doesn't. At what stage are you single currently?
Yes, I am.
You're currently single. So at what stage of the dating stage, and obviously I'm sure you're looking for a husband, right? Looking for somebody at that stage or past
Yeah.
that, right? At what stage of the dating stage do you bring an individual around the daughter to say, hey, or bring up the daughter at all, if at all? But I'm assuming, right away, or is it later on, or?
Oh my gosh. So look, I've never been huge on dating. That's why I don't even know why my ex even acted like that, because
Hmm.
like I'm not really into all that hopping to people. I
Yeah,
have a daughter. It already sucks. Oh my god, it sucks. I hurt so bad that my sperm donor is how he is. Like,
yeah,
you didn't want to be a part of her because I didn't want nothing to do with you in that way. I just wanted you to be there for her, and that's not what he wanted. So, and every time, he told dumb little lies to people, I'm like, look, I just sent him the text message from what he said. Like,
yeah.
I'm not her bank, I'm not her ATM. I'm trying to, be with you. If anything happens, we can have another kid. Who would want to be with somebody like that?
Nah, I feel you.
So, anyways, so that it sucks from that. So the only other person who's actually been around my daughter in that sense all the time is my ex.
Okay.
Her her father. And then she has another godfather, which was my god best friend. That's another loss.
Why?
But
What happened there?
hold on. To answer your question,
Yeah,
when do I bring somebody around the child? I don't know. As far as dating, I don't know. I guess it would deal with how the relationship is going and what
yeah,
level we are, and for me to, if first of all, okay, we're in a relationship together, then I must really like you. I must have vetted you good
definitely.
enough. So after a couple of months of getting to know somebody, I bring her around because you want the child to be around them to see if they like them or they don't. So the child don't like them, I'm done with you. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because children be knowing.
they do.
They
That they
so
do.
oh no. So yeah, I would think maybe within the first maybe 2-3 months
Hmm.
just to get a feel, because I don't want to go further and have deeper feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So just to get out the way, now you ain't gotta be around all the time, but at least to meet, so she can meet the person. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me about this other loss with this other god friend that's
That
not
was
an
actually my best
entanglement.
friend for about 15 years. So don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah. So he was my best friend for about 15 years,
Okay.
and we were tight. He used to live down the street from me when I was living at my parents' house. Then he ended up moving away, and but when he lived down the street from me, we was with each other every day. We went to the same high school.
Yeah.
We was with each other every day. Like he come in the morning, pick me up after school. He'll come back, walk me home. He was literally like 4 houses down,
Okay.
well, 4 or 5 houses down. But weekends we were with each other, like just always with each other, on the phone with
That's
each other
good.
every
Ride or
day,
dies.
best
That's all right.
friends. So then, as we got older, I got a boyfriend. Everything was doing me, wasn't talking to him as
Oh, this is
much.
one of those best friends that's just been waiting around for his opportunity, or
Yeah, so he had a
okay.
thing for me, but he was very respectful. He was never like that. He was really one of the good guys. Like he was really a good guy. We lost contact. Then he started dating this girl. Um, met her one time. That
Hmm.
one time for meeting me, she was like, "Yeah, I don't like her. I don't want you around her." I was like,
Hold on. The best friend said that about.
my best friend's girlfriend that he had got at the time.
Said
said
that
that.
about you.
Yes.
Ooh.
So literally, she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't want you being around her." Like literally, after she met me, like as soon as I got in the car, she was like, "Oh no," because he texted it to me. Like literally, he's like, "Yeah, so she doesn't like you." I'm like,
Dang.
"What?" Like literally, when I met her, I was like, "Oh my god, like nice to meet you. I've been waiting to meet you." I give her a
Yeah.
big hug. I'm like, "Oh, now we can go on double dates." And like, baby, she did not like me. So I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "So how is this gonna work? Like
Yeah.
what?" So anyways, me and him school was cool. Wasn't seeing him as much, wasn't talking to him as much. I didn't want her to like, feel no type of way. So
Yeah.
then one day he started telling me like, "Oh yeah, she don't want me talking to you no more." Da da da. I'm like, "What? Like you're my best friend. Like I, came before her. Like she's just a
Yeah.
girlfriend." So I'm just like, I didn't do nothing to her. It's not like I'm hitting on you. Like I always try to include her. Like that's weird. So anyways, after a while, like he stopped talking to me. Went MIA. Didn't say nothing to me. Just cut me off.
So he chose
Hurts
her over
me.
you.
That's what happened. So then he came back around after like 3 months. He was like, "I'm sorry. Like she wanted me to cut you off, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought about like that was messed up of me. I should never did that, blah, blah, blah." So they were still together. So I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, whatever. So boom, we back up being best friends. We was linking every here and there, but nowhere near as much as we used to
Yeah.
still. But once I started coming back around, she hated it. She hated it even more. She was like, "I don't like it." So mind you, he's telling me like, yeah. So at the time he didn't tell me, but they was getting a lot of arguments, always involving me, but I wasn't even in the picture as much as I used to be.
Yeah. I
So
live that.
anyways, they eventually got married. I was like, "Oh my god, he married the girl." So
Okay. So now you really cut off, is what I'm hearing.
so anyways, they
That's his
married.
wife. That ain't
So
his girl. That's his wife now.
he put his foot down, was like, "This is my best friend. You gonna have to deal with it. Like I'm not cutting her off. Like she ain't do nothing to you. I don't know why you don't like her, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah." So, I invited them over, a couple of times and I went over there with them and she still felt some type of way about me and stuff. But anywho, so after some time went by, they ended up getting a divorce. And what happens? And around that time, me and him wasn't really around each other for
Yeah.
real. So after his divorce and everything, we started talking again
Hold on,
eventually.
they got divorced?
They got divorced.
After how long of being married?
Was it 3 years maybe?
What caused the divorce? You?
It was a lot of
Oh, okay. I
things.
was gonna say. Oof.
I mean, I played a part, but I guess I don't look. That's the anyways.
Yeah.
So
It's none of our business. Okay.
so a little bit after his divorce, whatever, me and him was cool and everything. But I'm guessing he was going through. I think at that time when me and him was talking, I think they've been divorced for about a year and a half or something like that. But they were still, talking here and there. And so I was supposed to head went to his brother's. Oh no, because he had what had happened? I think he had coming off again
Okay.
or something like that. I don't know what happened, but anyway, so no, he didn't. We just wasn't talking as much. So we ended up talking again, and he invited me to his brother's baby shower. So I
Okay.
ended up getting really sick. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I couldn't make it. And so I told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry I can't make it. I'm sick." I was posting, videos from the hospital. I was in there for like, I had to keep going back like every day. This in the like the
Yeah.
ER, everything. I was down
Sheesh.
bad, and he was just watching my stories, didn't respond to my texts, nothing. And so basically, long story short, a year go by, did not hit me up, but all he
Damn.
been doing was watching my stories. So once my birthday came, that happened in October. Once my birthday came, I was like, "Oh, block." Because what you watching me for? So I
Yeah.
blocked his number. I blocked my Instagram. I blocked him on Snapchat. And I thought
Mm-mm.
I blocked him on Facebook, but I guess I didn't. So one day he had messaged me. He was like, "What's up?" Or he was like, "Yeah, hey." I'm like,
The haze always what
"That's
does
what
it.
he got to say." I was like, "Okay." Left him on red. Didn't say nothing. I was like, he done lost his mind. So I waited for about 3 months to go by. Then one day I randomly hit him up and was like, "You home?" Pulled up with him with my female best friend. And we just got to talking about it. So this is after a whole year went by.
Yeah.
And so we got talking, then we was tight ever since. So me and him was tight, tight, tight. Like I'm going over there every day to see him now because he was living closer now. He was coming to link with me, he was going out. Kind of found out he has another female best friend that I never heard of. So I'm like, okay, cool.
All right.
So, long story short, he ended up getting feelings for me, or I guess he never lost them, but they developed more developed feelings for him for the first time. Never seen him in that way. Never, ever,
Oh
ever.
boy,
But
you just reaffirmed what that girl just was on his ass about.
but this was why this was years
It don't
later.
matter how many years later. That just reaffirmed her.
It didn't because at the time I was not dealing with him.
It
Like
don't
I've never
matter.
seen him in that way.
Do you believe that a man and a woman can just be a friend?
Yes, that's exactly what we was for
Platonic
15
friends.
years. For 15, me and him ain't at the
So I
time.
believe that a man and a woman can just be platonic friends.
Yes, I
But
have
I've
plenty of
dealt with a
them.
similar situation with my college sweetheart. She had I had a girl best friend in college,
Mhm.
and then I met my college sweetheart, my then girlfriend. So
Mhm.
she already knew I was like, all right, we're close, and this is what it is. When she graduated, I met and got close with another individual female who she didn't have the opportunity to meet. And I can
Mhm.
understand why prior to it's just like, oh, I'm okay because I've seen you with her, I've seen you interact with her. That's not it. And on top of that, she thought that the individual was gay, but she
Right.
wasn't. But okay, but then it came to this other female who she didn't get a chance to meet because she left, graduated, and went on with her life. And
Right.
I can understand why now, as a more of a grown and more mature, where it's just like, I don't know her from a hole in the wall. So what's going on there?
No, I feel
So
that.
I can understand that, but I also live that side where it's just like I had the battle to say it's nothing going on. I promise, because
See,
there
but
was
that's
nothing.
different though, because that's somebody new. Like this, he's been my best friend for 15 years. It's one
Yeah,
thing when it's somebody who you know for like a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, somebody new. That's different. It's like, whoa, what you need new friends for? That's the opposite sex. That's
yeah.
weird. But somebody who's been your best friend, your close friend for
But
years,
that goes back
that's
to my other
different.
point that I was gonna make is that my cousin, she doesn't believe that a man and woman just can be friends only because whether one party admits it or not, there's always an underlying feeling there. So whether it's him or you or me and her or whoever it may be. So let's just say in my example, I liked the other girl, the one that she had met, the one that I met after the fact. But I
Mm-hmm.
never told her. I never told anybody, right? But
Right.
I still had underlying feelings. So that's why they believe, my cousin, she believes that not just a man and a woman can just be just a friend because at some point in time, whether it's now or later, and obviously it's holding true in this situation, but not always the case. But at some point in time, an individual is going to flip the switch and be like, you know what, such and such is looking really good today, and I want it to be more than that. And we may not necessarily have to cross the boundary to get to that point, but that's why she believes you can't just be
Well,
boy
then, but her
girlfriends.
points, well, her statement is still invalid because if it's just based off of people having feelings, okay, like somebody can't stop. You can't stop another person from
That's
feeling
a
how they
fact.
feel. The only way you are not platonic friends no more is when y'all cross that threshold. If that's never crossed,
Yeah,
yes, people can be platonic friends. If that line's never crossed, it doesn't matter if they like that person or not. If one person likes the other, if that threshold is not crossed,
yeah,
it does not matter. So they're still platonic friends. So
understood,
me and
understood.
him we never kissed, none of that stuff at the time. The
Yeah,
the
of course.
15-minute
Yeah,
mark we never did until this one party. That's when I felt I had feelings for him. Like he invited me to his aunt party and ended up making out. We were both drunk as fuck and we made out. It sparked feelings. I ain't never I tell you, I've never like had eyes for this man in that way. Other than I
yeah,
always knew he was a sweet, good guy. But wasn't looking at him because I was always in a relationship. I'm loyal as hell. Like, I'm loyal.
yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I was with my man, my man. So
My man, my man.
so I'm telling you. So yeah, so I'm just like, whoa, I got feelings. So boom, I'm very communicative. I
Hmm.
speak up. Everybody who know me know that. So I was like, okay, so look, that kiss did something to me, and I'm starting to look at you a lot different now. He was like, oh, he said, it was always there. He was like, but no, he said, but that definitely brought out an even stronger feeling. So I'm just like, but I don't know. I'm like, we'll see where this goes.
Yeah,
Like I said, I have a feeling in my gut, and I should have stuck with it. I said, this gonna go south somehow, and I said, and I already
yeah,
see that I'm gonna have to cut you off. I said, it's not gonna be you cutting me off. I'm gonna have to cut you off this time. I
yeah,
said, I don't want to do that. I said, so unless you are 110% sure, do not pursue me. I said, because I'm not dealing with it. I said, you've been around all them relationships. You saw what I've been through. I
yeah,
said, don't put me through none of that. He was like, I got you, da 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 da. Like, mind you, I always thought he was a sweet, sweet guy, a gentleman. Like he was not like the other guys.
yeah.
Long story short, he had this other best friend.
Female or male?
Female.
Okay.
Never heard nothing about her. First me and her was all buddy, we was cool. So I met her around that time when the party happened. When she saw that kiss, she freaked out. She didn't like it. So she started acting weird towards me and towards him. She then expressed to him and her other best friend that
Yeah.
she didn't like me. Mind you, she has a boyfriend. So, anyways, so I'm just like, what? So then I asked him like, so have you done something with her? Like, this is weird. Like, you're making me feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm asking you, as a grown woman, as an adult, like, have you
Yeah.
done something with her? Because why is she acting like this and she got a boyfriend? So he was like, nah, da da da. So, anyways, I'm just like, so we had said something. We always made a joke. I said, if I'm not married by the time I'm 30, we getting married. And so I was in the house one day. I'm like, up. I said, it's turned 30. Gotta get married. And she was
Yeah.
like, you told me that too. And so
Ooh.
he had this wild look in his face. And then so he did not want to look at me, but I looked at him and then I just
Ooh.
smiled. And then he just started like, oh my God, he looked like he was turning so red. And I'm just like, oh, I said, well, this to, be, I guess, you
Yeah.
can call it petty. I'm just like, well, his mama put that in the air for us when we first met. So I
Oh,
don't
you was being
know.
real petty then. You was being real petty.
Cause she like, bro, she just kept like bothering me. But then that was just that one thing. And so, but I saw it on her face, but I only said it so he can see her face though.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why I said it. And I said, see, that's the face she made that day when me and you made out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what's going on? So, anyways, I had to approach her, both of them at the same time. I'm one of them, like, no, I don't wait for nothing, baby. I take the opportunity. I was like,
Yeah.
so what's up? Like, why is there all this hostility? I said, you don't be speaking to me no more. You be acting weird. And I don't like being uncomfortable. At the end of the day, this is my best friend. I told him that I'm like, at the end of the day, you're my best friend. Like, I'm gonna choose that over any type of relationship with you.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. There was like, no. She was like, oh no, this is only my best friend. Like, this don't little petty stuff like rubbing his shoulder. I'm just like,
Uh-oh.
okay. So it was just like a whole bunch of BS and him, not even just her. He started doing petty stuff towards me. Like, mind you, he started like, he thought I had turned off my location and everything, and my phone was messed up. I need a new phone. It turned off for everybody. I'm like, dude, I could have just told you that. Why didn't you
Yeah.
just ask me? It's like, my bad, my bad. Okay, I was being petty. Then there was something else. I'm like, dude, X, Y, and Z. He was like, don't even say it. I'm like, bro, why can't you just communicate with me? Like, I already talked to you. I said, I've been talking to you. I've been communicating. I'm not dealing with no more BS. I'm just not. You're too grown.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what it is? You just got out of the merge, and you've been single for about 2 years now. I said, you feeling yourself. You lost weight. You feeling yourself.
Yeah.
You getting a different type of attention now. I was like, I'm not here for that ride. It's either you gonna bang with me or we're gonna be just friends. It's not one or the other. And he just started like treating me like I was just some random female who's trying to talk to, not his best friend,
Definitely.
and kept doing petty stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm tired of talking. I'm done. Like, this is crazy. Like, you're my best friend. You know how I am. You know what I've been through. You know what I will not deal with. I said, the only thing about me, like I say, which taught me a lesson from my last previous situation, is that when somebody show me their colors, take it for what it is and
Yeah.
leave. So I took the initiative. I
And
cut
left.
them off. I didn't send no text saying, "Oh, we're done." I didn't say, "You know what? I told you this was going to happen." That no, I've already had this conversation with him. I warned him. I already told him.
You
Once
gave him the
once
warning,
once you
like,
speak,
look,
you don't have to speak again.
one thing that I've realized is that a lot of the relationship problems or not problems that I did have is my life is due to women. Well, with women, I should say, is I feel like is relationship with my mother losing her young, things like that. So I feel like that plays a part. You've talked about problems with men, good, bad, and indifferent. Did you have your father in your life and both
Absolutely.
parents?
Yep. Both of
How
them.
has that having his love, parents' love all around, but specifically your father's love, helped or hurt your relationship with men? Do you think, or does it not play a
Um.
role at all? Do you think?
Well, it do because it lets me know that there are great men out here.
Okay. So
Um.
he's been a great example in your life, Houston.
Yes, and if I would have put everybody on the pedestal of my dad and held them
Hmm.
to that standard, I probably would not talk to none of them
Okay.
because my dad don't play about my mama. Like,
If I could teach somebody, or if I can save somebody some anguish, if I can just save somebody some heartache and pain, what is that one lesson that if you can just help one person, if I could tell the world, and I'm looking at everybody in the world, just don't do X, Y, and Z, what would that be?
ignore your gut feeling.
Okay.
Don't ignore your gut feeling. Your heart, your heart can trick you. Your mind can trick you, but your gut instincts, what you feel, it's not gonna trick you. Always believe in that and go with it and stick to it.
Okay.
Nothing ever comes to a sleeper but a dream. So I'm woke, try and get that money any means. Used to watch mom sweat them clothes to get them clean. Grew up in the slums, ain't shit that I ain't seen. And it's still free, all the guys till they free. Couple niggas crippin' and the others throwing bees. One thing for sure, they gon' all ride for me. Cause we ain't never phased no gang family.
All right.
Okay, so I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at the
No, so we're gonna look at each other. That's gonna zoom in on you whenever.
Took a couple L's, but we like to call those lessons. Coming from the burg, I was taught to pay attention. Cause them snakes out hissing and they'll sneak you in a second. For that I keep a circle that be tighter than a virgin. Couple niggas screaming, fuck the law, ready for purging. Tell them let the 40 touch a nigga like it's flirting. A lot of hidden hate, oh, y'all thought y'all was lurking. But ain't no time to lack, nah, I'm always observant. Grew up in the field, but I never played the corner. Still could jam a nigga if I don't like the route he running. I've been underground, running around like head tummy. Came from the bottom, I swear I started with nothing. So how can niggas hate? I swear to love it all be fake. Smiling in my face but wanna do me like I'm ace. That's why I say my grace before I put them on a plate. Cause I know I'm too important like a fucking uppercase. And life is like a race, it's just all about the pace. For a little money, dudes become a big disgrace. The fake come and go, but the real can't be replaced. They say the sky's the limit, only limit I embrace. And I'm about $1, no surprise I get the cake. Cause I was taught to hustle in any weather, cannot wait. I done had to starve just to make sure others ate. My pain versus your hurt is something that cannot relate. They try to lock the door, I kick that bitch like Kevin Gates. Couple roadblocks I ran through like I was freight. Heart of a lion, I was molded by the apes. That's why I stand talking, never fall in no debate. I'm on a mission, I gotta get it. For all them long nights the oven had to heat the kitchen. For all them starving nights I went to sleep just to forget it. No food but the sink was always full of dishes. Check the refrigerator knowing nothing even in it. Nights like that can turn a young boy into a menace. Same reason I don't give a fuck about no feelings. Cause I'ma be starving till I count 100 million. Part of my back, nigga.